Hello everyone, it's me again. Apparently this is going to be something a bit more special than I have anticipated, and it's going to be quite a bit of an interesting one as well, because I have met some of the most famous characters and also actors from Doctor Who at this event for toy collectors and also for cosplayers as well. Back to the Past. Now, basically, Back to the Past was obviously an event at the Sports National Wales Cardiff Stadium. It was packed full of goods there. There was so much going on there. It was completely amazing, like an amazing sight to see. And I was flabbergasted when I seen one of the most unique things that I've ever seen in my life, and it was a life-size Dalek set in the entire stadium, and it was just sat there for display as well for other things like with Star Wars and Doctor Who related and Batman cosplays. One woman was dressed like Harley Quinn, and another that was dressed up like Joker but also had the Ghostbusters backpack on. Then there was the Ghostbusters cosplayers, people in costumes, and it was just amazing down there. And I actually recorded a few clips of the Dalek roaming around the stadium stalls and getting perfect shots, and also it was playing some of the I'm not sure if it was playing some of the radio-controlled Dalek sound effects, but I'm not entirely sure. But it did sounded like the radio-controlled Dalek set. I'm not sure if it was the 12-inch radio controls or it might have been the 14-inch. I'm not entirely sure, but have a look at this. Oh, that's amazing. Oh my God. Oh, that's awesome.
Keep it on the back right there. Make it easier. Just go. No, I think.
Oh, that is awesome. After Dalek Sec was obviously roaming around for at least about 15, 20 minutes or 30 minutes, there was a lot over there. Like, there was a lot of Doctor Who merchandise. There was like a lot of a couple of things regarding the Power Rangers, and there was a couple of like video games there as well. Every single, PlayStation, Xbox 360 and Game Boy, and I tell you what, it was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Because it was like I think it was like about 3 or 4 tables stacked full of PlayStation 2 originally, and also Xbox 360 and mostly Xbox One games. But it was packed of so many games that I could have bought over there. But my money was a bit limited because I run on Universal Credit, and it's £300 a month. But it was just stacked there until I actually found someone who was actually interested of the whole Remembrance of the Daleks storyline, and that was Hugh Spight, who actually voice acted or even probably operated the Black Renegade Supreme Dalek. I'm not entirely sure, because I recognise his voice I recognized him from somewhere. This guy was just insane. Like, it was just a pleasure to meet this guy. Hugh Spight was just telling me everything about the filming with the Renegade Daleks and the Imperial Dalek War that was going on at in that tunnel bridge. Check this out.
Okay. Well, we had to film this where one of the Daleks had to be blown up, and so it was in the tunnel. It was near Waterloo Station.
Yeah.
And there were these tunnel arteries, and one of the road actually goes through. So they said, right, we want 3 Daleks coming across the end of the tunnel, and then stop. We will cut, and everybody gets out, and then we'll load explosive into the first Dalek.
Yeah.
And it's going to be blown up. So Will has a bazooka, and it was like action, fire, boof, bang, and this almighty explosion, right? Amplified by the tunnel.
Yeah.
The next thing, police, fire, ambulance, capital radio saying, IRA bomb exploded at Waterloo Station. And it was us blowing up the Dalek.
Yeah.
So that's the little story about the Dalek explosion getting a bit out of hand.
Yeah, that was the gold and white Imperial, wasn't it?
Yeah.
In the Coal Hill School.
That was the same. That was just part of the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we filmed that down at these archways down by Waterloo Station. But it was a very difficult thing because this was a lot of outdoor shooting for the Daleks.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was on like cobble streets, and it was so difficult.
Yeah.
And the wheels that they had on for the studio were useless. So somebody came up with the idea.
Because they were wobbling around quite a much.
Yeah, because they put these, brown balls that they put on wheelbarrows.
Yeah.
At the time they were using them as a wheel. So he had the idea to put 3 of them on. Well, when they were all at the same pressure, it looked right. But then again, it was very difficult to control wobbles outside. And it was like, cut, Dalek wobbling, cut. Oh, God. It was so difficult.
Yeah. But also, I seen another one of the scenes where they brought up the special weapons Dalek.
Yes.
Like, they had the original props in for like 1 second, and then after the camera sort of like changed after, because there was like no domes on the Renegade Daleks for the explosion effect.
Yeah.
Like after they get disintegrated by the special weapons Dalek.
Yeah. Is that the special weapons Dalek?
Yeah, that's the one with the cannon, that is.
Yeah.
and basically it was like a 1 second swap, like between the original and some like dummy props, just to save the originals from being damaged.
Yeah. No, that's the little story. One of my little stories about the Daleks being blown up and causing a bit of a problem with the police.
And what role did you play in Remembrance of the Daleks?
I am the Black Dalek.
You were the Black Supreme Dalek. I honestly thought the
all Black Dalek is me.
I actually loved the voice of the Supreme Dalek. It sounded a little bit more demanding and menacing, like when I watched it. It's just a shame it met its tragic end by the 7th Doctor. Like spinning out of control since it had no further purpose, since Skara was destroyed.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for that little story. I'll probably come back and get one of these posters. Thank you.
I'd be happy to give you sign one for you.
Thank you very much.
Not only that, though, I managed to get a photograph with Hugh Spight, and he had loads of posters regarding to remembrance of the Daleks, and he had basically the custom-made ones, like that were made back since then. But there was the originals with the original props, but with different backgrounds. Renegade Supreme and Special Weapons Dalek and Imperial. Then there was, but I got this one. Yep, that is the custom-made Doctor Who Remembrance of the Daleks poster, and that is Hugh Spight's signature right there. And I obviously gave the man a good handshake, especially when he was one of the voices for the Renegade Dalek Supreme. And obviously this was just perfect. So I'm obviously going to be putting all of these things, like I've got to show, like they're all going in picture frames. They're going in picture frames. So after meeting Hugh Spight as the Renegade Dalek Supreme, I actually managed to find another Dalek operator who actually did the Dalek Eternal from either the 2012 series of Series 5 of Doctor Who when Matt Smith came out, or I might be wrong, but when the Paradigm Daleks came out in episode Victory of the Daleks, one of the operators, two of them I think, one of them was Matthew Doman, I don't know if I pronounced that name right, actually operated as the Dalek Eternal, even though that there was no voice actor or voice for the Dalek Eternal. Only the strategist and the Supreme spoke. And the same goes for the scientist and the drone. Like, they didn't speak, or the Eternal. But he told me the whole thing of, like, getting into the Dalek was, it was a bit impossible, because just to do how tight the ring section of the Daleks, like the neck section, the mid section, the skirting was fine, plus the dome, but it was just the neck section and also the mid section for the Dalek. And he told me all about it, and it was just interesting. And I told him about the Paradigm Daleks from the like laterest episodes, like after like the Pandorica opens. Well, I didn't really mention about the Pandorica or the Big Bang, but I did mention about the one episode from Doctor Who with the Silence. Like, we see the Supreme Dalek that's damaged from that prop, and then there was the Asylum of the Daleks where we didn't even see the scientist or the Eternal again until the Big Finish audio studio. Big Finish's episode of Victory of the Doctor. Check this guy out.
Right, so it was so hot inside over halogen lamps, and they were keeping us in there for quite a while. So basically, I decided that what I was going to do was get naked. So when you actually watch that episode and you see the yellow Dalek going around inside, you probably shouldn't think about this, but I am naked inside that Dalek.
It was just a shame.
I think about it the same way again.
It was just a bit of a shame that
I told you that, and then you're recording me now, and it's going to go through the world.
No, it was a bit of a shame that the Eternal didn't speak in the episode. Only the strategist and the Supreme did, and not the scientist or the drone.
Yeah, man. It was a shame. And the thing is, they were really big, those Daleks, weren't they? They really like cumbersome and got in the way, kind of thing.
Yeah, there was like, because some people started to hate the paradigm ever since they started coming out, and
Do you think? Yeah. So you think people started to like hate the paradigm or the Daleks in general after they came out?
it was like a competition between the modern Who Daleks, which is the bronze ones, or the paradigm, and people were like asking to bring the bronze Daleks back.
Yeah, I remember that actually. Yeah.
Because it was like a competition between like either they switched the paradigm with the modern Daleks or keep the paradigm in for another episode, but
They didn't use them very much, did they? I think didn't they use them in the Parliament of the Daleks after that? And that's the only time they used them in it.
I can't remember what episode it was, but I did remember seeing a damaged Supreme Dalek paradigm, and I think it was regarding the silence with the 11th Doctor, Karen, can't remember Rory's actual actor's name, and then there was Rose, and no, not Rose.
He's in his element here.
Good.
Honestly.
But and then there was the Asylum of the Daleks, which they did have three of the.
Yes, I remember.
They had three drones, which was the Scientist and the Eternal, but just painted metallic red. Kept the original drone and painted the Strategist metallic blue, and the Supreme in like a metallic white.
Okay.
But the Scientist or the Eternal were not ever seen again until they started doing an audio episode, like the Big Finish audio episodes, and that's when they started getting the Eternal Dalek to speak for the first time.
But you can't really tell a difference, can you, on a radio, on a podcast? You don't know, like. All you do is hear the Dalek voice, and then you just, if they tell you this is the Supreme one, because the voices are the same, aren't they?
Well, not particularly. Like the Supreme Dalek has a more of a deep tone voice. Strategist has a higher voice, and
Oh, so they've all got different tone voices?
yeah, they have different tone voices.
Because like most like all the classic Daleks all have the same tone, don't they?
Yeah.
So how much are you selling for the Eternal?
It's £10 for that one, if you want it.
I mean, for the remote control.
Oh, I haven't got the remote control anymore. How
you
much
not?
did I pay for it? I can't remember how much I paid for it. Like 60 quid.
Because I got the Supreme version of that.
Yeah. Nice.
And I'm actually showing you my collection now.
So it's just Ross ROSS, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to have to use a different colour pen, man.
Do the black one instead. I don't mind.
Unless you want me to sign it.
Walk into his bedroom and it's like there's shelves
Collections everywhere, is there?
and ships and stuff like that, you know.
There you go, Ross.
Ah, thank you so much.
Cheers, Ross.
After getting a photo with this guy, I was just completely astonished of meeting this guy, especially when he was the original operator for the Dalek Eternal. He had pictures of the Dalek Eternal, and also from the Pandorica Opens, I think, and one from Victory of the Daleks, from that scene where the Eternals turns to the console. And I had his autograph, which is right here somewhere. If I can find it. Nope, that's the wrong one. See? That is Matthew as the Dalek Eternal. If you can see his handwriting, he signed his signature on there for me. And I have to thank you, Matt, because that meant so much a lot to me. Meeting another one of the Dalek operators from which I didn't even know ever since Victory of the Daleks came out. So that's obviously, I thank you for that. Like, I'll say it, I did say it to you, but I'll say it again on YouTube. Thank you very much. And I managed to find you on your Instagram page. But that was not all. There was this comic book company. that makes their own comics. It was either that, which is the Tailless, the Avengers of Tailless. Basically, they gave me 2 of these things, but they also gave me a comic book. They gave me this, which I had to buy with my Universal credit, by the way. I had to buy it, but this was one of the comics I've bought, and this is a limited edition of the Adventures of Tailless, and this one I'm going to keep wrapped in this thing forever, because this is like a collector's item. I'm not going to open it, but that's not all they gave me. They actually gave me no thanks. Oops. That was close. They actually did give me 2 posters for free. And and he did sign his signature right here. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, that's his signature. I forgot what his name was. Arvin. I can't remember something. I can't remember all the names that with the people that I meet, because I have a certain memory loss problem. Like I have struggling times of Avon, that's his name. But this second poster he gave me for free, which was generous, of course. But he also signed the signature on this one as well. And once I do get picture frames for these things, I will obviously, I'll be having a fabulous time putting all this in a picture frame. But the comic, by the way, I'm going to keep packaged in there. Like, I'm never going to open it, because this is obviously a definite collector's item. But that's not all that I bought. I did buy a TARDIS, I think it might have been a keyring or either a thingamajig, I can't remember. But that's not all I bought. I bought, if anyone doesn't remember these things, these bobble Daleks. There we are. The second wave of the Doctor Who Bobble Buddies Daleks. And I've got basically I've got half of the remembrance Daleks in there, the Imperial Dalek and the Renegade Supreme Dalek, which I've obviously been trying to find on the internet, but on Amazon they just charge about £20 or £30 for it. But I got this thing for about 15 quid at Back to the Past, and the rest of the Daleks in there is the Dalek Supreme from the Daleks Master Plan, and we've got the Warrior Dalek, which is either from the Chase or the Daleks Master Plan. Don't even know, but I'm definitely going to be keeping this in the box because I'm a certain collector myself. And yeah, that's all there is to it. But I actually did meet Clem So, who was one of the characters from Peter Capaldi's series. I can't remember which one. I think it might have been series 8 or 9. I'm not entirely sure. But he was actually in No Time to Die. He was in the 007 series, Skyfall, No Time to Die Inspector. He was in Doctor Who, but he was also in the spin-off of Harry Potter, I believe. He was in the spin-off of Harry Potter. He was in... What else was he in? I can't remember the rest, but if you have a look at this right here, if I can get the camera to have a look at this. Come on. That is Clem So on the far corner of my No Time to Die poster. And he did sign this on the very bottom. thank you. Like I did say thank you again, and I gave him a handshake. But take a look at the picture.
I guess he must be quite excited to meet Mark.
And yeah, I've just had a fabulous time, and I also took a picture of. I had my mum take a picture of me by the Jurassic Park Jeep that was there outside of the stadium. But overall, I've actually had a bit of a good time there. Like, I had so much fun there yesterday. And meeting Hugh Spight, Matthew Doman and Clem So, which were from Doctor Who characters, and a Dalek voice actor and operator as well. Like, it was just perfect. Like, my mum and I, we had such a great time there. Like, we thought it was going to be like half packed just before they began, but no, they started about 10 o'clock till 4 o'clock, and it was all perfect. But I can't wait. I can't wait for the next event, and I can't wait to see what comes next for Back to the Past, because I give them a 10 out of 10 for what I've experienced. And as a certain YouTuber myself, and also interviewer, and getting all these Dalek stories of like how things were done back in the past and all that, like, it was perfect. So, but apart from that, I'm actually quite happy with the stuff that I got from yesterday and the people that I met yesterday. I want to give a shout out to Hugh Spight, Clem So, and also Matthew Doman. Absolute brilliant people, absolute brilliant storytellers, and absolutely wonderful people. So make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, because we are reaching up to 200 subscribers. And if you want to see more content like this, which I have uploaded a short of Dalek Sec in the National Sports Centre, if you want to see more of that, just make sure you subscribe, comment, and like. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.